Welcome back to a new episode on Stay Interested. This time it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna be making a video without a script. I'm gonna be reacting to facts about America and comparing them to Sweden, since, well, I'm from Sweden, so it's basically the only place I can compare it to. Anyway, let's go. In Arkansas, they have beaver tail stew. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that's not really a common dish that they eat in Arkansas, beaver tail stew, but I guess that every country and state basically in the entire world is gonna have something weird. Like Sweden, we have fermented herring. I'm sure you've seen videos on YouTube, people trying it and just puking. And no, it's not common. People in Sweden, I mean, I've never had it. I don't know anyone who has had it, but I think certain areas and parts in Sweden, they eat it more than other areas. And the people that like it, they say that it's like, if you like moldy cheeses, you're gonna like it, fermented herring, but I'm gonna pass on that. I walked by fermented herring cans, tin cans in the store. They are literally round. Because of the fermentation inside it, they expand, and I can't imagine that it's good, or that the smell is good, or the texture. So yeah, I think that basically every country, any state has their own weird food, like this beaver tail stew. Texas in the Southwest is of course known for their barbecue. So yeah, that's more my type of food, barbecue. Burgers. If you like burgers, why not visit the place that got invented? Since USA is a mix of many different cultures, their cuisine reflects that. That must be interesting. A country like USA where so many different cultures live, there must be a ton of different foods and just great cuisine overall. Different restaurants with different... Not that we don't have that here, but I would think that in USA it has to be more authentic food, I think. I don't know, let me know in the comments if that's true or not. It might just be some idea I have. Different states eat differently. In the Northeast you find a lot of seafood like clam chowder, lobsters and shrimp. Yeah, I can see that. I live on the west coast in Sweden and we have a big harbor where they bring in fresh fish basically every day and shrimp, so I can see that being part of the cuisine on the east coast in USA as well. With a territory of 9.8 million square kilometers, USA is the third largest country on Earth. USA is huge, with a population of more than 328 million people, with the biggest chunk of people living in California, of course. The perfect weather with almost no rain, which must be nice because here it's raining all the time. Like right now it's pouring rain and I hope the mic doesn't pick it up. They get just about 35 days of rain per year, so you would have to be really unlucky if you go there and have it rain on your vacation. And all I can say is you have to be really lucky that you miss the rain if you come here to Sweden, because I think it's raining 364 days a year rather than just 35 days. Everything is big in America. They got some of the tallest buildings in the world, like the famous Empire State Building. And if you want to see tall buildings, New York City has 5 of the top 10 list of tallest buildings in the USA, with One World Trade Center topping the entire list with its 1,676 foot height or 541 meters. Yeah, so that's something that I want to go and see someday. I want to go to New York and see all the skyscrapers. I mean, we do have some tall buildings here in Sweden, but nowhere even close to the heights of the skyscrapers in USA. So that's definitely something I'd like to go see someday. If you're looking for nature and sightseeing, why not visit the Grand Canyon or the infamous Bonneville Salt Flats, where many speed records are broken? The Grand Canyon, is that a place where most Americans have been at some points in their life? In Sweden we have places where most have been at some point in their life. Maybe they were 2, maybe they were 10, maybe they don't even remember they were there, but they have been there. And I feel like Grand Canyon is one of those places where most people have gone at some point in their life. Maybe I'm wrong, let me know in the comments if that's a thing, but I would definitely want to go see that. I've seen videos and pictures and it looks just incredible. I mean, we don't really have that here. those huge nature phenomena in Sweden. I mean, we have some. I can't think of anything right now on the top of my head, but I know there are areas like castles and stuff, but that's not nature. So I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just gonna keep going, okay? You can also visit Mount Rushmore, which was built to increase tourism in South Dakota, which it did. More than 2 million people visit the 4 presidents each year. The first plan was to make the sculpture here in Needles Black Hills, but the rock was too thin from erosion. So that's interesting. I didn't know they built those specifically to increase their tourism into their state. I mean, it's a great idea. I'm sure people will see it all the time. I would want to see it, so it's definitely working, of course. It must have taken a long time to build that. I mean, they carved out 4 presidents into a mountain. That has to be quite an undertaking just to increase tourism. I mean, evidently it paid off so far into the future as well, because I assume it's pretty old. That's not the only change that was made. The original plan was to make it look like this, including more of them, from their waist and up. There will be cuts when you make something like this. The more presidents and the more detailed, it's gonna take a long time to make. And yeah, well, they ended up with 4 and it looks great, so hey. If you want to see bears, Alaska is your destination. They have plenty of guided tours and incredible nature. There's also Hawaii, of course, the state made up of islands. Islands made by cooled off magma and surrounded by turquoise waters and colorful fish. So that's incredible. I also want to see Hawaii at some point. We don't have anything like that. We don't have volcanoes and we don't really have any exotic climate here at all. We have polar bears walking on the streets in the rain. We do have an island southeast in Sweden called Gotland. It's like my favorite place in Sweden because I think it gets the most sun hours in Sweden, which means 2 days instead of 1. That island is packed with medieval remnants and Viking runes, inscriptions everywhere. Everywhere you go on Gotland, there's something historical. Like the entire city, Visby, in Gotland is surrounded by a wall built in the medieval times. I mean, the whole place is just packed with historical remnants and ruins, and it's just incredible to see and walk around and think of all the old stuff that happened. Buried treasures, the whole place is packed with treasure. It's actually illegal in Sweden to walk around with a metal detector without permission because there's so much hidden treasures basically everywhere, especially on Gotland. And you're not allowed to go dig up all the ancient like Viking treasures, medieval treasures and just take them away. They're supposed to go to museums, right? It makes sense why you can't here because, well, new treasures are found almost every year, and if anyone could go around with their metal detector, they would just deplete the whole place of ancient stuff, and that would be a shame. Since USA is so big, it has a state for almost any climate you'd want, so their nature, forests and wildlife are very diverse. And no matter what type of vacation you want, they have a state for it. Winter vacation, Alaska. A nice warm vacation with sun and amazing beaches, Florida. Or you can do both in the same state. Surf in the morning, ski at night in California. Yeah, so that's really cool that you can do both things in the same state, since here in Europe, or mostly at least here in Sweden or the north, the Nordic countries, we can't, we don't have different climates. We basically have cold. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, I'll make more. Just give me suggestions and let me know in the comments if you like this new type of video. See you in the next video and stay interested.